time for your daily scoop of pop culture. Today we're covering episode 4 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, which starts with the moms going on a trip for Macy's birthday, but tensions get higher and higher as the circle starts splitting more and more between the saints and the sinners. The women drive to their destination in 2 separate cars, and Taylor knows that she's going to have a really hard conversation this weekend with Whitney. And on the way there, she notes that she's actually really anxious about everyone being together, and she genuinely does seem anxious. The rest of the moms get there, and Whitney brings matching sweat sets for everyone that say Mom Talk and have their names on it, and I low-key love them and would totally wear that. But anyway, they all jump into the hot tub, and everything seems like it's a lot of fun, honestly. Later, while unpacking, Jesse and Jen remember Zach's wife. They have a conversation about being away from their kids, as neither of them feel like their husbands would really be capable of taking care of their kids. Now let's just pause right here, because this pisses me off so bad when people call dads taking care of their kids as like babysitting. If you have these thoughts about your husband, like that your husband can't take care of his own offspring for too long, that is a huge red flag, and you should not be having kids with that person in the first place. And like I said last episode, Jen and Zach, in my opinion, their relationship shows such clear signs of DA, and it's really, really, really disgusting and really sad. And Jen is just such a bright light. It breaks me to see her be treated like this. It's also crazy to me that they post TikToks like this, and I truly thought this whole time they were very in love, but then to see them with the cameras on them all the time and to see how Zach truly acts, it is shocking. Now on this trip, Jen actually starts to open up to the girls, and she lets them know that she's the breadwinner of the family while Zach is in medical school, though Zach thinks of his own career as the more important one. You heard that right. The man who has gone bankrupt multiple times because of his gambling addiction, which we will get into in a later episode. But this man is ridiculous. After hearing a little bit more about Zach, Jessie starts to see Jen in a new light, and she thinks maybe Zach was the one behind the uninviting during the baby blessing, and it wasn't actually Jen. And Jessie kind of gets this hope that maybe her and the girls, especially Jen, can get closer. On the first evening of this girl's trip for Macy's birthday, a private chef comes to the house, which is so fancy. I am so jealous. And they all go around the table and they share a reason why they love Macy. And a lot of them say that she's super genuine, and I love this because she genuinely does seem like such a great friend, and I feel like she would personally stand up for me and protect me so much. I also had to look this up because I was so curious. She's a Pisces, which makes so much sense, and I love her. The next event the moms do is an anonymous truth box, so the women can ask any questions they want about each other, and let me tell you, the questions are spicy right off the bat. It's kind of uncomfortable, but that's fine. Layla is asked which of her friends' husbands she'd sleep with, and then she says she would sleep with Jesse's husband, Brett. And then Jen is asked which girl in the room she would go lesbian for with a dare to prove it, and she quickly answers it and says it's Taylor and kisses her on the cheek. Let me tell you, I don't have words, because the fact that that was even a dare, someone in there likes women, which is not bad. I like women. It's just crazy, the situation. Then the question we have all been wondering is asked, why doesn't Taylor like Whitney? And is Whitney just jealous of Taylor's clout? Whitney kind of takes a second, and then she says she isn't jealous of Taylor herself, but she's jealous of the forgiveness that Taylor got during all of the swinger drama that she didn't get. And you're probably wondering, what do you mean she didn't get? What did she do? I will explain it. She made a TikTok of herself dancing while her baby was in the hospital for low oxygen levels, and of course, she got a ton of backlash by people who thought she was using her son's sickness for clout and attention. Backlash that she thinks or feels that she still has to deal with to this day. And the other moms are really frustrated that Whitney still won't be honest to Taylor's face, but constantly complains about her every second she can get behind her back. If this isn't dramatic enough, more drama happens when someone reveals that Demi said Jen was, quote, too Mormon. A comment that Demi thinks was shared by Whitney, who promised that she wouldn't tell anybody that Demi said it. And then, of course, Jen gets upset and she reveals that Demi called Taylor white trash. So Demi seems to be digging herself deeper and deeper, and she says that this whole era of Taylor's life is trashy. And it's a lot to take in, because I understand she can be concerned, but if you were a concerned friend, you would probably act like Maisie would act and not call somebody white trash. After the stressful conversation ends, Whitney tells Macy that she really wishes she was more supportive of her during this whole conversation with Demi, which surprises Macy because she really thought that she was supporting her friend. And personally, I agree. I think Macy has been nothing but a good friend to people throughout the series, but apparently Demi apologizes to Taylor for her poor choice of words, and Taylor accepts, but she asks not to share a room together like they had originally planned, which is totally fair. Now, Taylor pulls Whitney aside because she wants to have a one-on-one conversation, saying she doesn't get why Whitney really doesn't like her. And Whitney just gets super frustrated that Taylor doesn't ask about her own relationship with Connor. Like, that's her excuse. She is upset because Taylor doesn't ask about her relationship with Connor, her fruity best friend. I meant husband. Meanwhile, some of the other group members seem to be leaning towards Taylor's side, realizing how much Whitney can truly gaslight her friends. And ultimately, Whitney says she doesn't feel like Taylor cares about her, but she also doesn't expect Taylor to take any action or do anything about it. So, I don't know. Whitney and Demi end up having an argument and say they don't want to be friends anymore, and Demi is super frustrated that Whitney can dish it but not take it. And the fighting just continues with all of them. Demi gets so heated that Macy ends up calling her a bitch for being so aggressive, and the arguing finally stops when they realize they have a dinner reservation they have to go to. The episode ends with them going out for Macy's birthday dinner, but things are tense. Everyone tries to put on a happy face. You can tell they're all trying to make things better for Macy, except for Whitney, who decides to tear up at the table and like sniffle and dab her eyes, and she ends up telling the producers she can't sit at the table and excuses herself to go to the bathroom and says she is not sure that these friendships are worth it anymore. That is where we will leave it off. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want a part 5, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so I know you want another part.